Hi there, welcome to Cooking for Good. I am Yuki from Cultivate Life, and today I'm going to share about an easy way of making a nut-free pesto using chickpeas, basil, olive oil, bit of parmesan, and it's all about creating a tasty pesto with basic ingredients. Let's cook. So making homemade pestos are really easy. Usually you have nuts, you have parmesan cheese, you have herbs such as basil, olive oil, salt and pepper, and you blitz it up to make one big saucy mush that you toss on your pasta. Now, supposing you don't eat nuts, and nuts can be very expensive, so I have created a dish today where we use chickpeas. Now chickpeas are full of protein, it's stored in a can, it's not likely to go off, and you can just pick it up from your shelf and use. So chickpeas, olive oil, salt and pepper, parmesan, basil, a couple of garlic cloves, blitzed up makes a most amazing pesto. Now in another dish I've also created a sun-dried tomato pesto, and that's where you get a beautiful jar of sun-dried tomatoes like such, and I use the oil to make the pesto. And sun-dried tomatoes, again, as long as they're stored in the oil, they keep in the fridge for a relatively long time. And these are ingredients that are easy. They are, you can store them quite easily, they don't perish so quickly, and you can create a very tasty dish in seconds. So let's cook. To make a pesto, it's basically usually pine nuts, basil, oil, salt and pepper, garlic clove, and lemon. Now, I use lemon zest because there's a lot of nutrients there. I use the actual flesh of the lemon. I don't just use this lemon juice, and it just adds to the flavour. Now, I prefer olive oil because I love olive oil. You can use what oil suits you. Okay, some people have nut allergies, so probably stay clear of nut oils, seed oils, and you can use a total combination of pulses, be it there's 5 beans, you can use butter beans, and these are all relatively easy ingredients to blitz up and create a pesto in seconds. So use what you have. I've made pesto in the past with hazelnuts, I've used almonds, I've used walnuts, so be creative. So this is a way to preserve it. It's basically submerge the pesto with oil, keep it in a clean jar, and it will store in the fridge for at least a few days. And it's very easy to just toss this in hot pasta. And again, use roasted vegetables, use different nuts, different seeds. I've used cheddar cheese before to make pesto because I didn't have any parmesan. And parmesan you don't have to have parmesan, that can be quite expensive. So keeping to kind of hard Italian cheeses is really good for this recipe. But again, you can use cheddar. And you can crumble feta on the pasta. So keep it really diverse, use what you have. And the more we add pulses and vegetables in our diet, even better. Enjoy. So right here I have this beautiful chickpea, so it's nut-free pesto using can of chickpeas, lemon zest, lemon juice, 2 garlic cloves, olive oil, salt and pepper, and a handful of basil. Now, using alternative ingredients means you use what you have, and chickpeas are usually in cans, which means that they don't go off very quickly, and it's really readily available. Apart from making hummus, it's got lots of other uses, and it just means it's a nut-free pesto, and if you toss it in pasta, it's absolutely delicious. And with herbs, you can use parsley, you can use other fresh herbs. I find growing a pot of basil is always really handy, and with other pulses. You can use lentils, you can use 5-bean salad, you can use cannelloni beans. I have here tins of 5-bean salad. I have got butter beans here. They can all be used to make a nut-free pesto, and literally it's blitzed up and tossed into the pasta. So I have boiled some pasta here. I've also put a bit of the lemon into the water to add more nutrients, so literally, and I've also let it go a little bit chunky because I really like a bit of texture in my meal. Oh, I can really smell the basil and the lemon. I add the zest in as well. So this is my lovely nut-free pesto. It's got olive oil, salt and pepper, chickpeas, a little bit of grated cheese, and garnish it with a beautiful bit of basil. And there goes a beautiful nut-free pesto pasta. So right here I have got chickpeas, I have added sun-dried tomatoes. I've literally used the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes because that's a really good oil to use for your pesto, and it really makes, you know, saves throwing it away, and it's very flavorful. So I have added sun-dried tomato, lemon zest, lemon juice, salt and pepper, bit of parmesan, and also some basil. I've also added a bit of rocket that I happen to be growing. It's always good to grow herbs, and if you have got little salads growing in your windowsill in the kitchen, it all adds flavour. Literally pull a bunch, throw it in, blitz it in your blender, and literally that's ready-made pesto. And I'm about to toss it in my hot pasta right now. This is such a tasty pesto. Sun-dried tomato pesto is just delicious. So I toss it in to some warm pasta, and this adds lots of protein. It's got basil in it, it's got chickpeas in it, vegetarian, so it's just, and it's very, very tasty. So as you can see, put as little much as you like. And again, I will toss this with a little bit of, serve with a little bit of cheese on top. And again, I will just put a little bit of basil on top, and there you go. Sun-dried tomato chickpea nut-free pasta. Next up on our alternative ingredients theme, I'm going to show you how to make a 2-ingredient pizza base using Greek yogurt and flour. All you do is literally a tub of Greek yogurt and some flour, mix it together, knead it into a dough, and literally let it rest for a few minutes, and literally that is your dough for a delicious pizza. Add the toppings you like: cheese, tomato puree, bit of ham, bit of pineapple if you have it, and in the oven for about 12-15 minutes till it goes crispy. Delicious pizza. As you can see here, I have got Greek yogurt and equal amount of flour, and this creates a yummy, delicious dough for a pizza base. So I'm going to mix it up and turn it into a dough. As you can see, this has now turned to a really lovely dough texture, and you can carry on kneading it for a few more minutes. Let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then pat it down into little pizza bases, and put your topping on and bake it up for about 12 to 15 minutes. Just make sure your foods that you're putting on top of the pizza are edible, that are not raw, such as ham. So do not use raw chicken or anything like that. Just basically use cooked chicken, and grated cheese, tomato puree, whatever topping you fancy. There you have it. We have our 2-ingredient pizza base with Greek yogurt and flour. Pizza! Enjoy! I'm going to be demoing how to make your own oat milk out of oats. So here we have the ingredients to make your own oat milk. We have got porridge, oats, we have got a jug, we have got about 3 cups of water, and I've got a little bit of honey. So this recipe is 1 cup of oats to about 3 cups of water, and you let it sit for 15 minutes, and then you literally blitz it and blend it in a blender, and then put it through this lovely muslin cloth, which I can show you here, and then strain it through, and there is your lovely oat milk. So I'm putting the water in the oats and just letting it soak, and it becomes this milky substance. Let it sit for 15 minutes, and then we will blitz it in a blender, and then we'll strain the milk and then put a tiny bit of honey in there for taste, and there's your delicious milk. So this is the nut milk bag. Literally this is just a Sainsbury's vegetable bag. I think it was a few pounds, and they make great nut milk bags. So literally I'm going to pour in the jug this lovely oat milk and strain the oats, as you can see. And you can see this lovely oaty mixture. And once you strain the oat milk, you can reuse the oats. You can turn them into cookies. Yeah, you can actually reuse the oats. So I'm now going to let this strain through and give me some gorgeous, lovely oat milk. As you can see here, I am just squeezing the rest of the solution through, and you can see this creaminess that comes through. It's rich oats. And if you prefer it less creamy, you can add more water, you can reuse the oats one more time, possibly. It might be too creamy for a lot of people, so play around with the water and oats ratio and see what you like in terms of taste. Some people prefer a creamy milk, some people prefer a watery milk, but as you can see, it's just so rich and delicious. And there is your oat milk. So this is the delicious oat milk that we have just created. This makes about 2 glasses, but again, play around with the solutions, the water and the combination of oats